Well, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I know there's no intro clip on this one, but that's because we are jumping right back into the action here of getting this 66 body lifted up so that we can set it on the 07 chassis. I did all this in one day. This literally is picking up right after the last video ended. So we're getting the harness on here, trying to figure out how to best lift this car up. We don't want to damage it, obviously. We just want to pick it up. Get the framework thing, the wood stand out from under it, and then back the other car back underneath it. So, as you'll see here, we're about to go ahead and pick it up. That'll also allow me to get the floor that is completely cut loose underneath the car right now out from under it. See right there, you can see that floor drop loose. Got one little spot holding me up, and that's off, so now we can drag the whole thing out of the way. Tip it straight, and just like that, we are almost ready to get the car back underneath it. There's a couple little loose tabs here and there that I'm like, I should probably clean that shit up before we get the other car in there. So, doing a little more prep work here, getting it ready, picking up anything that might pop tires, getting everything cleaned up underneath it. We have been grinding and cutting on this car. Just the camera angle, and here comes the 07 body, or chassis. I don't know that I'd recommend this as the safest way to do this. You know, you can trust equipment to a certain standpoint, but I mean, probably shouldn't be, you know, underneath it yourself. So don't recommend you do this at home, obviously. Use a lift or something. This is just showing how I did it. Don't do it the same way. So here you can see we're kind of struggling on those front pillars there, trying to get this down around the dash. In a bit here, you'll see that we do eventually. I'm doing some cutting, clearancing. I believe this is on that little fuse box that I talked about in the last video, that pop-out plate. That was kind of in the way. That does just unbolt with one bolt, and then it pops out, and that whole fuse relay box pulls to the side, so that got it out of the way, so I could cut that bulge out of the firewall there. So we're doing that. Now you can see we're pretty much down on there. We got a little bit of a gap there, I'd say about 6 inches. So trying some maneuvering with the body, trying to pull it around, see if we can get it. It's just hanging up on a couple little tabs here. You can see we're standing on it. You can see we're, you know, doing everything we can, trying to get that settled down on there. This is probably, I'll disclaimer this is where I should have stopped and realized that we should cut it, pick it back up, cut more out of the chassis or out of the body, one or the other. You know, needed to clearance something just a little bit more, because I didn't, and this is where, not initially here, but down the road it definitely causes me some headache, and it's still one of those issues that even the car in its current state now, it's one of those things I'm like, how do I fix this now? So if you're doing this, don't force it. You can see it pops down on there on both sides. You don't want that pop, because that pop was the bottom of the 66 body flaring just a little bit right at the front there to get it down underneath those things. And at the time I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, sweet, it's down in there. What are the odds that this, you know, metal that I've cut heavily is going to flex at all? You know, probably not, right? Wrong. Obviously, that's sarcasm. But we did get it down on here, and it honestly looks pretty good. So I'll let you guys watch the end of this as we move some more stuff around and have a little talk about it, and we will give you guys a tour here in just a second.
Alrighty, we have body on. Big step here. Take you guys for a little tour here. We're sitting a little tall, but like I said, I think we're gonna do safari style, so we're like kind of look like the Miata, so that should not bug us too much here. Everything's sitting pretty much like I think it should. If you look, we are dead level on our frame rails here. Sitting right down on there like we want to be. Look at our dash here. We are sitting just above that cowl actually, or just below the cowl, which is nice. Depending on how we try to box this in, we might still be able to make use of the air conditioning the way it's supposed to be. But there's a big air gap in there we're gonna have to try and fill. So we'll have to figure that out. But the way we did this, we aren't gonna have to paint the windshield. Holy shit, yeah, that's a good thing. A lot of guys end up painting the bottom of the windshield to cover up the dash that they hacked to pieces, but since we're staying a little taller, we aren't gonna have that issue. We might have to notch the fenders just a little bit. Because I am wanting to run a little bigger tire on this. That seems like we're maybe just a hair off. Yeah, we are just like ½ inch off, but it could just be sitting slightly different on the suspension right now too. It's not exactly flat around here. That's pretty impressive though. Officially did it. The 66 is on the 07 chassis. I have no idea how we're going to make the windshield wipers work. Those are way down here. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. So I don't know what I have for materials. I might try and start mocking up a few brackets just to hold the body actually on, instead of just being held on with gravity. And we'll get back to work. Honestly, so impressed with how this turned out. Trunk brackets are going to be nice and easy. Straight down into here. Our cuts look pretty good there, only a little, you know, I actually didn't even have to cut that much off the frame, unfortunately. I could have stayed a bit farther forward, but we can build that back in. This car is in rough shape. No. And unfortunately, I didn't have to cut those, and I did, because I was worried about those towers clearing. But we can modify them a little bit and then weld them back in, so that's not a huge deal either. This is pretty good.
realize in all my excitement I forgot to record an outro to the body getting placed. Well, I did, but it was before I put the doors on, and then I decided to do the doors, and then I forgot to record another one after I did the doors. So there's no proper outro for this that actually shows the current state of the car. So this is the intro to the next video. You guys will see it with the audio, so you can see what I'm talking about in the beginning of the next video, but this gives us a pretty good look at the car in its current state after setting the body down on it. I got the doors mocked up. I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. Right now I'm talking about windage tray, but like I said, you'll see this in its entirety in the beginning of the next video, since it is the intro and it's much more proper. But as you can see, we got both the doors mocked up. There's obviously some issues, as I told in the voiceover on the other thing. I have a gap right there. That is from the front of the 66 body being splayed out to fit over the 07 chassis, because there's obviously something I needed to cut a little bit more. Honestly, I probably should have fixed it here, done some lifting, lifted the body up, done some more clearancing, and then fixed it, but I just decided to roll with it. It's not an easy issue to fix like I was hoping, so you live and you learn. If I built a second one, obviously we'd be doing things a little bit differently after learning about that. But anyway, this is the state of the car at the end of this video, so I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I know this is a big moment for the build. Hope everybody's excited about it, and next video will be coming at you soon. Thank you very much. Bye!